Dissent is American. Vandalism is criminal. Speech is protected by the First Amendment. Vandalism is prosecuted under the Penal Code. Today, I'm announcing charges against 12 people who intentionally crossed the clear and bright line between dissent and destruction. They've been charged with felony vandalism and conspiracy to trespass, also a felony. We have issued warrants for their self-surrender. Their arraignments will be forthcoming. On June 5th, 2024, at approximately 5:30 a.m., a group were seen spray painting graffiti near Memorial Court and the main quad at Stanford University. Soon after, dozens of individuals flooded the area and surrounded the adjacent president's office, known as Building 10. The building and its offices were locked and closed. A few of the perpetrators then broke a window on the west side of the building and crawled inside. Once inside, they let in the others. All of the perpetrators wore face coverings to conceal their identity. Once inside, the perpetrators covered the interior surveillance cameras and barricaded doorways using ladders, furniture, and additional equipment. They then began splattering fake blood, trying to break into offices and recording social media videos that listed a series of demands that they wanted before they would end their occupation of Building 10. Their occupation lasted more than an hour before police were able to break down the barricades and arrest them. Stanford estimated that the perpetrators caused hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage to the building's interior. As district attorney, my job, alongside law enforcement, is to protect the people and property of Santa Clara County, which includes Stanford University. The rule of law includes all of our colleges and universities because these institutions are not accountability-free zones and are not above or beyond the reach of the California Penal Code. During this thorough investigation, law enforcement uncovered evidence that the 12 defendants we charge today planned far more than making speeches and video demands. The conspirators planned to break into Building 10, and they broke in. They then planned to commit vandalism, and they committed hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage. The conspirators even had a handbook to help them. They generally followed that guide and succeeded in their plans. The damage included doors, windows, and floors, and was so extensive that it closed Building 10, Stanford University's executive office, for more than 2 months. Protests are constitutionally protected in this country and in this county. As district attorney, I hold the responsibility to protect speech dearly. Our very freedom flows from the First Amendment. We have always been allowed to state our opinions and ask our questions. But what worth is a question when it's asked by a masked person who has just broken into your office? What worth is a question posed by a person determined to punish their perceived target, not with the devastation of their reason or logic, but with a hammer through a window, a crowbar pried through a door? The rule of law is not just a dry concept taught in civics class. It's about the safety of you and your family. It's about the sanctity of where you go to work and your belongings, some of which are precious and irreplaceable. We are here today because I will not allow people hiding behind masks to commit crimes. We would not be here today if these defendants stopped at the threshold of Building 10 and simply stated their views. We would not be here today if the defendants had done what Stanford and universities all across our country try to instill in their students: to convince through the power of ideas, not the mayhem of a mob. What I would like to see happen here, I would like these individuals to plead guilty, accept responsibility for what they did, make restitution to Stanford for the hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage they caused. And I don't know that it's a case where I would want these individuals sitting in jail for these actions. But I actually think, to me, and we'll have a full probation report, a sentencing report for the judge. The judge will decide the sentencing. But I think what would be most appropriate here is for them to be ordered to do work on the sheriff's work program. Sheriff's work program are the individuals you see wearing vests that are cleaning up roadways and cleaning up other public buildings. Because the way I see it is they damaged and destroyed all of this property and caused all this vandalism. And I think that their punishment should be cleaning things up.